Very full.
Possibly, if I had the desire to. I do not.
Rude. Perhaps you had better find the desire then. I should have known you'd be a selfish bitch. Hello, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins Ultimate Edition. We are on episode 47, I think? Don't quote me on that. We had just talked to Zoran, I believe. Now we have just Leliana, and I guess we could talk to the mage, but I highly doubt there's anything new going on there.
Did you always live in an alienage? Was it very terrible?
Sometimes. I had my family. There was joy there too. Well, what do you think? Sometimes?
I have never been to the Denerim alienage, but I hear that life is hard and there is so much squalor. In Orlais, most elven servants live in the homes of their masters, often in great wealth and luxury.
I did not know that. I'd rather live free in squalor than be a slave. I bet some are treated cruel, like dogs. I'd rather live in the squirrel.
They are serfs. There is no slavery in Orlais.
It's the same thing. It is still a life I would never choose. I see. Sure, it's the same thing.
Elven servants are well compensated for their services. Some of them live richer lives than humans. A well-trained elven servant is highly valued in Orlais. They are nimble and dexterous, and many people find them pleasing to look at.
Enough. I have no wish to continue this conversation. Like a prize-winning animal? So I should offer myself to some Orlesian noble?
No, I did not mean it that way. Oh, my words were clumsily chosen. I did not mean to offend. I am sorry.
Apology accepted. I am Elven, but more than that, I am a person. You may not be cruel, but you still see us differently. I guess we'll accept the apology.
Thank you. You have given me a lot to think about.
Yeah, apparently. Anything else to talk about?
Have I ever told you I really like the way you wear your hair?
My hair? Thank you. No, I don't believe you have. It's just hair. Really? It's so stubborn sometimes. I don't believe you have.
It's very nice, and it suits you. Simple. Not like the elaborate hairstyles we wore in Orlais. They involved flowers, ribbons, jewels. One year, feathers were all the rage, and Lady Elise decided she needed to outdo everyone else, and actually wore live songbirds in her voluminous hair. The chirping was quite charming for a while, but you must realize, terrified little birdies often have loose bowels.
Why are you telling me this? Dear Maker, poor birds. Poor Lady Eliza. No, poor birds.
Yes, I don't envy them. She never washed her hair. But I was trying to say something nice to you, wasn't I? Oh, forgive me. My mind wanders so. It's just that I feel so comfortable talking to you, like I could say anything and you wouldn't judge me.
Well, we are friends, aren't we? And I actually do like the way you ramble, wouldn't I? Maybe I just keep it to myself. You're mistaken. You are far too frivolous for my liking. We are friends, aren't we?
Yes, very much so. I haven't felt this close to anyone in a long time. I really enjoy your company.
You are a treasured friend, Leliana. And do you often enjoy the company of other women? I think you're getting the wrong idea. Right, enough of that. Let's talk about my hair some more. You are a treasured friend.
Thank you. I am honored that you feel that way.
Don't want to piss off people that we need
Something
to
I
take
can
in battle,
help
do
with?
we? Let's talk about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
I have no clue. Why did you decide to come to Ferelden? Were you a traveling minstrel? Do you have tales to share? I heard that in Orleans, minstrels often are often spies. Why did you come to
My mother
Ferelden?
was from Denerim, and I consider myself a Ferelden. Mother served an Orlesian noblewoman who lived here when Orlais ruled. When Orlais was defeated and the common folk began to resent the presence of any Orlesian, the lady returned to Orlais. She took my mother with her. I was born in Orlais and did not set foot in Ferelden till much later. Mother was always telling me stories of her homeland. I think she missed it.
What happened to your mother? Why did she leave Ferelden then? Was she not happy in Orlais? What happened to your mother?
Mother died when I was very young. Lady Cecily let me stay with her. I had no one else. She was quite old then, and she had me study music and dance to entertain her. It is unfair that I have more memories of Cecily than my mother.
Do you remember nothing of your mother? You were young. It's understandable. What was Cecilia like? That's just too bad she's gone. Do you remember your mother?
Strangely, the only thing I really remember of Mother was her scent. She kept dried flowers in her closet amongst her clothes. Small white Ferelden wildflowers with a sweet fragrance. Mother called them Andraste's Grace. They were very rare in Orlais. But enough about that. Let us move on.
Did we hear something about Andraste's Grace before? It sounds
Something
familiar.
I can help with? Yes?
Didn't we have other options?
What's on your mind?
Were you a spy? Do you miss anything about
I miss
Orlais?
Val Royeaux. Unlike other cities where the people are the lifeblood and the character, Val Royeaux was her own person, and her people little more than decorations. There was always music in Val Royeaux, streaming from the many windows, quiet refrains and triumphant choruses, and always, floating above that all, the chant, coming from the grand cathedral. It was magnificent.
Is that all? It sounds wonderful. I've never seen Orlais.
If you get the chance, you should see it, at least Val Royeaux. Of course there are good things and bad things about Orlais, like anywhere else. Sometimes I miss it dearly, and sometimes I'm glad I'm rid of it. And you will laugh at this, but I miss the fine things I had in Orlais.
What sort of things? It must have been a big change, moving to Lothering. Do you have fine things now? What sort of things?
Dresses, fine dresses and furs. And shoes, of course. One can't mingle with nobility with bad shoes, you see. Orlais is very fashionable, almost ridiculously so. But the shoes... Living with those ridiculous trends was worth it for the shoes.
I guess that's why she didn't like the ugly boots, huh? What's so special about shoes? Shoes are shoes. They're there to keep your feet dry. Oh, I love shoes. Were they ridiculous shoes? I love shoes.
When I left Orlais, the fashion was shoes with delicate tapered heels and embellishments in the front. A ribbon, perhaps, or embroidery. In soft colors, of course. It was spring.
You've lost me. Oh, that sounds so lovely. Wouldn't that be hard to walk in? Must have cost a lot of gold. You lost me.
Never mind. I just have a weakness for pretty shoes. It is so frivolous of me, I know. Oh, I could talk about shoes all day, but we have things to do, don't we?
Do we? Do we?
Something I can help with?
Yeah, there was more things we
Yes?
could talk to you about.
What's on your mind?
Do you have any tales?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Okay. We want to hear about the Darkspawn?
Chantry Law says it is man's pride that created the Darkspawn. In ages past, the mages of the Tevinder Imperium ruled much of the world we know. In their pride, they thought their magics invincible and imagined that they were greater than the Maker himself. So thinking, they invaded his golden city, planning to take it for themselves and depose their own creator. But they were impure and full of sin. And it is with the sin that they tainted the golden city, corrupting it forever. The Maker cursed them and cast them from his sight. Wherever they went, they spread the taint of their sin. Any land that was touched by the taint became blighted and would suffer no life. Instead, the Darkspawn arose to torment us and remind us of our hubris.
Okay. There was another story I wanted
Which
to
one?
hear. Nope.
It will
Looks
come
like
to you soon, I'm sure.
looks like we've heard everything. Let's
Something I can
see.
help with?
Were you a spy? I'm
Yes?
curious on this
What's on your
answer.
mind? Where did you hear this?
Who cares? Is it true or not? I don't remember. Someone told me that a long time ago. I read it in a history book. Someone told me a long time ago.
And you believe everything you hear?
Sure.
Not all minstrels are spies. Most are just singers and storytellers. But some of them are what we call bards.
Bards. And the bards are spies? What's the difference? I thought minstrels were bards. What's the difference?
Many use the two words minstrel and bard interchangeably, but to do so in Orlais would cause misunderstanding. Bards are minstrels and more. Spies, as you say. Some say there is a bard order, but I don't think this is true. Many bards work alone or in small groups, doing the bidding of a patron who pays for their services. If there is an organization behind it all, no one knows who they are.
Patron? What sort of patron? Do they spy on Ferelden? Doesn't the monarchy govern them? What sort of services does a bard offer? Yeah, what do they offer?
What do you think? They infiltrate, steal, sometimes assassinate. It depends on the bard. In Orlais, there is much rivalry amongst the highborn. They fight over land, influence, and the favor of the Empress. But they cannot do this openly because it is impolite, and in public, they wear smiling faces and pretend to be civil. In secret, they plot and scheme to destroy each other. It is a game completely meaningless to anyone but its players.
You were a bard, weren't you? You seem to know quite a lot about these bards. I knew it. You're not just some innocent sister. Were you sent here to spy on me? I knew it!
I have revealed too much, it seems, but it doesn't matter what I used to be. It is the past.
But why were you living in a cloister sister in royal Ferelden? I'd never leave that. It sounds too exciting. So that's where you learned to fight like that. Make sure you use your bard skills to help me. Why were you?
I found myself in Ferelden and sheltered from bad weather in the Chantry. And when the storm passed, I just did not want to leave. I like to say the Maker brought me here.
Okay.
Something I can
So
help
are
with?
you spying on me? Can you teach me to be a bard? Sure.
I don't think you have the correct aptitude. I could give you some pointers, though. You may be able to pass them on to someone you know. Let's just go over there, away from the others, for safety, yes? I expect there shall be daggers flying about willy-nilly for a time.
Cool. Now we've unlocked bard special.
Something I can help with?
Let's talk to you about
Yes?
something.
What's on your mind?
Were you... nope. What about personal?
Something I can help with?
Oh, no. Never mind. Let's go back over and see... Will you teach us to be an
What
assassin
say you?
now? Can you teach others to be an assassin?
I could teach others, but not yourself. First, I would need someone who has training as a rogue.
good.
That is, unless you would care to spend the years it takes to gain the fundamentals. But if there should be such a person who desires this training, yes, by all means, send them to me. The crows are already furious, no? I shall enjoy tweaking their nose further.
Okay. What about you? Will you teach me to be a Templar now?
Your desire is my command.
I have some questions.
Of course.
Can you teach others to be a Templar?
Others, yes, but not yourself.
Why?
I need someone who's trained first as a warrior. It's as much about discipline as anything. I guess if I'm going to give up Chantry secrets, I may as well go all the way. Send whoever you want trained to me in camp, and I'll see what I can do.
Oh, so now we got a new codex.
Your desire is my command. Of course.
I don't know. Oh wait, you can teach me to shapeshift, can't you? I know you told me to go kill your mother and all, but shapeshift. I want to learn.
I await your command.
Sure you do.
So, full of questions, are you?
Very full. Very full.
Possibly, if I had the desire to. I do not.
Rude. Perhaps you had better find the desire then. I should have known you'd be a selfish bitch. As you wish. I don't really want to piss her off. Although she's one of the only people who can't leave. But, I don't know. He can't
You called.
teach us anything, can he?
I am hardly surprised.
Ah, okay. Do you find Ferelden very strange?
To put it lightly, no one has a place here. Your farmers wish to be merchants. The merchants dream of being nobles, and the nobles become warriors. No one is content to be who they are.
Don't the Cornari ever want to change their lot in life? Is there anything you like about Ferelden? So, you sound a bit homesick. Don't they want to change their life?
What does that accomplish? The farmer who buys a shop is never a merchant. He is always a farmer turned merchant. He carries his old life with him as a turtle carries its shell.
True. He might be happier. Maybe he was meant to be a merchant. But that makes the turtle stronger.
Does it? It's also his weakness. If he stumbles and falls over, it pins him on his back. It is better to armor yourself with no more than what you need. One life, one duty.
You don't think happiness is important? Duty can be forgotten. I suppose that's true. You don't think happiness is
You
important?
can learn to find it in doing your duty, in serving your people. There is no need to search for it. Shall we move on?
Is there anything you like about Ferelden? You sound homesick. Is there anything you like?
There is interesting food here. You have a thing. It doesn't have a word in the Kunari tongue. Little baked things like bread, but sweet and crumbly.
Cookies? The only thing you like about Ferelden is sweets? I would have never thought you for having a sweet tooth. Cookies?
Yes, we have no such things in our lands. This should be remedied.
I'll keep that in mind. You sound a bit homesick. I'll keep it in
Shall we
mind.
move on?
You sound a bit homesick.
Perhaps. It's strange to be in a crowd and hear a language that is not your own. To see faces that are and aren't like yours. I miss the smells of Saharon. Tea and incense and the sea. Ferelden smells of wet dogs.
Dogs don't smell that bad. You left out rotting garbage. I wanted to discuss something. They don't smell that bad.
Skunks don't mind the smell of other skunks either. Shall we move on?
Rude.
Speak then.
That's enough for now.
Then I suggest we move on.
I think you should leave. I have a question.
I am
Do have a
hardly
question?
surprised.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Very well.
Let's go.
As you wish.
Da-da-da-da-da-do. Ooh, he's not too happy with us. Should we buy him another cake? Let's buy him another cake.
Something you need?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Let's just keep some cakes on us. Like, I don't know. 5. And let's keep some thoughtful gifts on us. Since those can go to anyone, we'll just buy 10 of those. And then that way, we can keep everybody happy. I mean, it's not cookies, but hey,
You have my thanks.
you're welcome. Oh, yeah, I wanted to see if there was any more rumors.
You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. It's good to have you along on the road.
Yes. Have you heard any rumors?
There's terrible news. Everyone is talking about a battle in the north between Logain's men and Ban Bronik. The Ban was utterly crushed. Someone told me that he was meeting with Logain to talk terms, but I don't believe it. Surely Loghain would never attack someone attempting to parley.
That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Any others?
Arl Wolf has gone to Denerim to plead his case with Tyrn Loghain, I hear. West Hills has been hit hard by the Darkspawn, and Wolf wants the fighting over the throne to stop.
That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Yeah, any more?
Tyrn Loghain has announced that whatever happened to Banbronic will happen to any other nobleman who doesn't live up to the oath he swore to serve the throne. There's a lot of folks angry about it. Some of the Banorn who weren't saying anything are now saying that Loghain is trampling on their rights as sovereign lords. Seems like more fighting is inevitable at this point, doesn't it? Sad state of affairs.
That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
And Serlek has announced he's siding with the throne. That's not surprising, considering his lands border Loghain's. He probably fears what Loghain might do to him if he turns.
That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Yeah, any more?
There's news come out of Redcliffe at last. Seems that Arl Eamon has come down with some deadly sickness, probably the blight, and he may even die. If he does, that probably means no one else can stand up to Tyrn Loghain in the Landsmeet. Rather fortunate turn for Tyrn, no?
That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Any more?
It's the Maker's own luck that we haven't been overrun by the Darkspawn yet. They seem as disorganized as we do, scattering all over the place in great mobs. Maybe there's something to the talk, that this isn't a proper blight, that there's no archdemon leading the lot. Maybe they won't even march north.
That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
But that sounded more like an opinion than what you heard on the road.
I hear the Dwarven King is passed on. Old as he was probably poisoned or assassinated. That's how the dwarves normally go out, isn't it?
That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Have you
Yeah,
heard
it
the
seems more like your
startling
opinion.
news out of the Mage's Tower? The Templars say they were forced to cleanse it. Every mage was slain. Seems with all the chaos, demons were able to take over the tower. A terrible business. I know the mages bring it on themselves, but I still can't help feeling sorry for the bastards.
That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Again, most of these sound like opinions, but they didn't all die. I swear I didn't kill a thing.
A freehold not far from here was found deserted the other day. Darkspawn came out of nowhere and made off with everyone. Not a body to be found. Some people say they eat the ones they capture. Maybe that's why they come at all, because they're hungry. Some people say it's worse things they need.
That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Yeah. Any more rumors?
Some hunters who range into the Brazilian forest say that a Dalish clan there has fallen to some kind of sickness. The blight, most likely, poor sods.
That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Why do you always say that?
I hear from folks traveling the East Roads that there's werewolves in the Brazilian forest. Actual werewolves. They haven't been around since the days of Dane and his ilk.
That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
That's actually kind of interesting.
I heard a strange rumour the other day. King Cailan was not really Merrick's son, you see. Merrick's real son is hidden in the bowels of Denerim's palace and has been since he was born. I suppose they feed him cakes all day to keep him content. Maybe he's simple. Or a mage. Merrick's real son, a mage. Can you imagine?
That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow.
Yeah,
Take
nobody
it for what
knows.
it is.
I don't know. What? I'll just take that. Yeah, sure. I don't know what I was going to say. Merrick, is that Alistair's father? Right? I could be wrong. I forget
There's
what
talk that
the
King
name of his
Cailan
father
was cheating on the Queen and she found out about it. That's why Tyrn Loghain abandoned Cailan at Ostagar.
That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
So now we got high school drama leading to people dying. Really?
It's said the North Road Inn serves a shepherd's pie containing actual shepherds. Seems the innkeeper has something against the flocks being brought too near his own fields.
That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
I don't know what to tell you. Nothing I can think of at the moment.
Okay. So there is a certain amount of rumors. That's kind of cool. I wasn't sure it was starting to sound unlimited. Um, okay, so we'll end this episode off here. We have... be wise. What does this say? Found a textbook of arcane summoning rituals. It would be unwise and altogether unsafe to engage in such exercises with the library in its present state. Okay, so I don't know what that means. Kill Flemeth, find the sword. Ancient history. Learn more about history. You've discovered another piece of the puzzle. There's more. There must be more to this. Okay, so there's still more we have to do at Soldier's Peak, apparently. And we want to find the sword and Grimmeth. And something about summoning science. You found a textbook. Where else could we practice if not the library? I don't know. We'll have to find out. I hope you guys are enjoying. And in the next episode, we will do one of these. Maybe look for the sword. I don't know if we're ready to take on Flemeth. And if we do go to kill Flemeth, who do we take with us? I don't know. Can't be Morrigan, that's for one. Or we could take Morrigan and see what happens. Would Flemeth take over her body at that point? I don't know. Or it just... Ugh. Or does it just not let you go there with Morrigan? I wonder. I don't really want to click on it and have the wrong thing happen, though. So you guys will have to tell me in the comments, is it possible to take Morrigan? And if so, what ends up happening? Or we'll have to do another playthrough just on the other character I have to go through and find out. But I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys are enjoying. And thank you for watching.